Story 1, 24 hours.
Yesterday, Todd made it his mission to sleep with as many women as possible. He managed a whooping 37 in just 24 hours, an insurmountable amount for an average day. But this was not an average day. Who was going to say no to get laid? He didn't know he'd soon be a father to 6 illegitimate children, or he wouldn't have done it. Yesterday, Anne snapped and slit the throat of her toxic ex-husband. The neighbors walking by saw the whole thing through the window, but simply looked at each other, shrugged, and kept walking. Anne continued her day as usual, leaving the still warm body on her floor. She didn't know she would be arrested for murder, or she wouldn't have done it. Yesterday, Lacey took her husband and kids on a drive on the winding roads next to the ocean. Her hands shook as she gripped the wheel, while her kids sat oblivious in the back. She and her husband shared a meaningful look as she jerked the car to the right and into the crashing ocean waves. She didn't know she would be shunned while laying 6 feet under, or she wouldn't have done it. Yesterday, the news was announced that an unsurvivable asteroid was headed straight to Earth. Yesterday, the world erupted into unprecedented chaos as everyone had to decide what to do with their last 24 hours. But today, utter and complete pandemonium occurred. Because the asteroid missed us?
Story 2, I don't hate my sister.
Because of all of the things I do to Renee, most people would say I hate my little sister. I'm here to set the record straight. I didn't let Renee's cat out the back door because I hate her. Muffins is fine. I've been feeding him behind the shed. I don't flush Renee's medications before she takes them because I hate her. I was pretty panicked when I thought the toilet was going to clog, though. I didn't erase her biology essay because I hate her. She got to see the cute librarian she's crushing on anyway. I didn't unplug her cell phone before she left the house because I hate her. I unplugged it so that Mom and Dad wouldn't be able to call her. I didn't use the faulty outlet in the living room because I hate Renee. I really don't hate my sister. The fire didn't kill Renee because Renee didn't have to go back for muffins. Renee wasn't sleeping due to her medicine. Renee was at the library doing her report. I didn't let our mom and dad die because I hate my little sister. I did it so that she wouldn't end up buried in the garden like me.
Story 3, the hotel room.
I checked into a hotel one evening and the woman at the front desk handed me my room key. She gave me a curious warning. On the way to my room, there was a door with no number. It was locked, and no one was allowed inside, no exceptions. She made it clear that I should never, under any circumstances, look inside that room. I followed her instructions, went straight to my room, and went to bed. But that door, the one with no number, haunted my thoughts. The next night, my curiosity got the better of me. I quietly made my way down the hall to the mysterious door and tried the handle. Locked? Of course it was. But then I noticed the wide keyhole. I bent down and peered through it. A chill ran through me as cold air seeped out and brushed against my eye. Inside, I saw what looked like a hotel bedroom, much like my own. But in the corner stood a woman. Her skin was entirely white. She leaned her head against the wall, facing away from me. I stared, puzzled and uneasy. Part of me wanted to knock just to see what would happen, but something deep inside told me not to. I slipped away from the door and returned to my room, my mind racing. The next day, I couldn't resist. I went back to the door and peeked through the keyhole again, but this time, all I saw was red, just a flat, unmoving red. I couldn't make out any shapes or details, just that deep, solid color. I figured maybe whoever was inside knew I had been watching and had blocked the keyhole with something red. Disturbed, I went back to the front desk and asked the woman about the room. She sighed heavily, as if she'd been through this before. Then she asked, "Did you look through the keyhole?" I admitted that I had. She shook her head slowly. "Well, I suppose you deserve the truth. A long time ago, a man murdered his wife in that room. People say her spirit still lingers there. But she wasn't ordinary. Her entire body was white, completely white, except for her eyes. Her eyes were red. My blood ran cold. That red I saw, it wasn't an object blocking the keyhole. It was her eye, staring right back at me.
Story 4, my family.
I died 8 years ago. It wasn't particularly tragic or unusual, just a car accident. I don't blame the man who hit me. He was speeding because his wife was in labor and there was black ice on the road. He lost control of the car and I lost my life. It's not his fault. I know that. I'm not cruel. I am not vengeful. If anything, I'm the opposite. You see, I don't have any family left and I had lost my few friends around that time. When it was time for my funeral, the only people who came was my boss and the family who killed me. The wife held her newborn daughter close to her chest. I hated my boss, and the cemetery was awfully lonely, so I followed the family home. Lily may as well have been my own flesh and blood. She was sweet and bright and oh so very small. She had trouble sleeping if someone wasn't rocking her crib, and her parents were so tired. After they put her to bed, it was easy for me to rock her crib for her. I didn't get tired. I could help her. As the years passed, Jack and Lori realized that they weren't alone in the house. It didn't take long from there to make a connection between my funeral and when I had showed up. And I'd never been malevolent, so they weren't afraid or angry. They started to burn candles on the anniversary of my death day. They left an empty chair for meals and holidays. I really felt like a member of the family. Someone is trying to force the door ... It's Lori's ex. He's obsessive. He's angry. He's going to hurt the family. My family? The thing about ghosts is that the more offerings you get, the stronger you become. I've been enjoying candles, trinkets, and even the occasional food item for the past 5 years. I was strong from that. The knife feels warm in my hand. A shock of heat against the ice of my skin. Lori, Jack, and Lily are my family. I care about them, and they're not going to join me yet. Someone is trying to force the door. It's Lori's ex. He's obsessive. He's angry. He's going to hurt the family. My family. The thing about ghosts is that the more offerings you get, the stronger you become. I've been enjoying candles, trinkets, and even the occasional food item for the past 5 years. I was strong from that. The knife feels warm in my hand. A shock of heat against the ice of my skin. Lori, Jack, and Lily are my family. I care about them. And they're not going to join me yet.